Hello and welcome to Nandi News. My name is Vivian and today in studio we have a very interesting guest. Her name is Engineer Michelle Boit and you can tell from the title of her name that she is well read. Her prowess in the field of oil, gas and engineering is what makes her name easy to remember. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Vivian.
First of all, I have to admit that you look absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. You know, they always think that engineers don't have passion. They need to understand.
You're here to prove them wrong.
We're here to prove them wrong.
Interesting. Okay, so growing up in Tuluet in Nandi County, how was that for you? How was your upbringing? How has it contributed to the person that you are today?
Yes. I would say my parents worked at Mo University. My dad was a lecturer for biochem for a very long time, and he had deep passion about the environment. My mom was an administrator up to date. She still works at Mo University.
Okay.
So I basically grew up in Mo University. I went to Mo Primary and later on joined Hill School. So Tuluet it's a small village. A lot of people can relate more to Keses more than Tuluet. But Tuluet is a small village. Up to date,
it's still not
grown. Yes, I went the other day. Still same neighbors, still one shop, and you know
it's the same home.
It's the same home. So it's good to know, and you can always relate and go back home, and everybody remembers you. So I could say.
So you have stated that your father was a lecturer for biochemistry and you still went ahead to study chemical engineering.
Yes.
So did he push you to do that, or it was just one morning you woke up and you're like, I want to study chemical engineering?
Actually, my dad is the one who pushed me to do chemical engineering. I'm really good in science, and I could say I got that from him. Sciences, physics, chemistry, and biology and math. But my dad wanted me to be a doctor because we don't have a doctor in our family.
Okay.
So I told Dad, doing good in a subject and have a passion is totally different things.
Yeah.
I do not like being in a hospital. I do not like seeing blood. I did not like seeing people suffering.
It wasn't your thing.
It was just not my thing.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed, studying all the bonds and everything, but it was just not my thing. But now when it comes to chemistry and physics, now I could go on and on being in the lab, trying to mix things, trying to see what
it was your
this
passion,
come out. That
really.
was my passion. So he said that combination of chemistry, math, physics, chemical engineering, and that's what I pursued.
Okay, so you went to Kapnibirai Girls High School.
Yes.
Yeah. And sorry to say, it's the first time I'm hearing that school. So it's really not a household name. I mean, it must have been big for you to come out of there and still be who you are today.
There's a very funny story about Kapnibirai that I have. So when I joined Kapnibirai, of course, I didn't want to join Kapnibirai. I was not happy about it.
Yeah.
But my mom, being my mom, she always gets her way. So she made sure that I go to a school that is really to
around
the interior and around home. Because
it's a mother's love, really.
Kiliboni is at my grandpa's place. Leluak is at my mom's place. Family. So it's all like surrounded by family. But to me, coming from Hill School, coming from a city, graduating at KCP, I'm like, man, this is like quite interior, but anyway.
But you still did it.
I did it. I told my mom, I'm going to work hard and I have to transfer in Form 2. I had to go to Matunda Girls, that's where all my friends went, and Boy Girls. So I said, I'll work hard and improve my results, then I joined the school I wanted, Form 2.
Okay.
But when it came to Form 2, I was already used to Kapnibirai.
Again will have been.
Yes, and I really enjoyed. The school was good, the teachers were good, so we went ahead and just cleared in Kapnibirai. Kapnibirai, I would say it taught me a lot of things. And actually it shaped me to be who I am right now.
Okay, so you don't regret it?
I definitely do not regret at all. During our time, Kapnibirai was not known of being a performer.
Yeah.
So when we go out for games and stuff like that, other schools will pick on us.
Yeah.
We had this bus.
I can relate.
Yes, I had this bus called KUF 032. everybody, I mean, from Kapsabet boys, from Kapsabet girls, Chepterit, they'll say Kapnibera Union of Fools.
Oh my
Only
God.
32% are clever.
What?
So that's what I found there, and
you
it
had
kind
to
of
run
continued
with
for a
it.
long, for a long time. So I said, you know what, I'm the 32%, but I said, you know, we need to change the face.
Yeah, we need to change the
Kapnibera.
Yeah.
So when we cleared, actually, I led the year that I graduated KCSE, and a lot of changes came. Even we had a new principal. Her name is Mrs. Baraza, and a big shout out for her. She's the one who changed my life.
Wow.
Mrs. Imelda Baraza. She whooped me in shape. Like
she molded you.
She molded me in shape, and she. I would say she basically just changed the whole school. You know, she was very strict.
Notion that people had about it.
Absolutely. We started morning preps very strictly, evening preps, and just participating in games, and got really strict about the academic work, and that's how we saw the school change
To being a better institution. Okay, so you say after that you did your KCSE and you weren't really happy with the results.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, you know, when you're good in certain subjects, you expect a certain grade, and especially that you've been doing very good in, you know, on those particular subjects. So unfortunately, when it came to KCSE, I don't know what happened. I got B's in chemistry, math, and physics.
You had expected A's.
I expected A's, and then in geography, agriculture, accounting, those are the ones I got A.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you know, when you want to join the university, they have cutoff points.
And they were so tough then.
They were so strict, so tough. And then you had to compete with that one result. No one will go back and say,
let me do it again.
Or they'll say like, oh, actually you are really good, maybe something happened in the exam. No one has time for that. So unfortunately, my dream for joining campus with chemical engineering just went down the drain like that. And my second category was to do an accounting. So I signed up at Strathmore. I said, let me just go ahead and pursue accounting. And at that time, Egerton had called me to do agriculture. And I told my mom and dad, let's not waste our time. I have no passion. I grew up in the farm, but you know, that's just about it. I have no passion about doing agriculture as a career. So we went and signed up Strathmore, and that's when now that Kapnibera name came in play in a very big way, where now when I went to Strathmore, you know, this is a village girl from Eldoret coming to Nairobi and being taken to do my interview, and we were doing an exam, and everybody there is from, you know,
these big institutions.
I hear
I can relate.
Mangu, Kenya High, Alliance Girls, and
were you intimidated?
I was intimidated fully. And then, of course, some of them are being nice. They're coming to ask, so what school are you from? I said, Kapnibera. Kap what? Like, where is that?
Oh my God.
Like, okay, how can we do this, you know? And
just here for the interview.
After 1, 2, 3, I'm telling you, I changed. I said I'm from St. Kitts, from Eldoret. And that one was easy.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, so no one really asked me a lot
more
of
questions.
Things. Yeah, no more questions. And I was like, why am I feeling like embarrassed about my school? So we went in and we did our exams. And of course, I was also intimidated. They came with A minus, and here I have a B. So I was intimidated in all levels. So we did our exams, and when the results came out, they were portrayed on a board.
It was public.
It was public. So I went and reviewed, and actually I was among the top.
Wow.
And from there on, I said I would never, ever get intimidated by anyone. Yes, I said, you know, they might come from Alliance. By the way, that was just a big lesson that I learned that day. That I should not be worried about where I come from or where I went through, or, you know, God has His plans in everything. So I am who I am, and Kapnibera is the school I went to, and guess what? I was topping in the exam.
Okay. So you got into Strathmore, and then What did you study?
So that one I was actually applying for accounting, and that's when my dad came in and said, you know what, you know, accounting is not really you. So
let's just
can
do
we
what you
do
like.
a different option? Can we explore other options? And so he said, you know, my uncle, which is the brother who is in Texas, would you mind going to the US and go study chemical engineering? You'll be given a fresh exam, an entry exam, and then you pursue. And I said, you know what? Let me still explore. Yeah, let's give it a shot, because you want to explore everything that your goals, your dreams, you know, you don't want to just be tricked because of one exam. So I said, let me give it a try. So yeah, we went to Texas. Yeah.
So do you think you are privileged? Because I understand not very many people will have had that opportunity, you know, to go to the US to study what they actually wanted to. So yeah, I would say I am. And it's not because of it just happened. It's because somebody had to sacrifice. That is my uncle, my dad's older brother, Professor Mike Boit sacrificed. He did sacrifice, and my grandpa, taking my uncles and my dad to school. They got a scholarship for track and field. You know, Kenyans, we can run. Canadians, we can run. So they got scholarship for track and field. And so my uncle, Professor Mike Boit, is the first one who went to the US. And because of that sacrifice that he did, he started pulling in the brothers. And my grandpa also sacrificed by paying their way at least to go to the US. So it's really their doing. They paved the way for you.
Absolutely. So I would say that, yes.
Okay, so tell me about studying in the US. Did you get culture shock? We hear a lot about that. How was it?
Yes, there is a lot of culture shock. Oh my goodness. I remember my first class I joined in was calculus. And in calculus, you know, as we're used to when it comes to logarithm and all the sines, cosine, as we have a logbook. Remember that red logbook
the
like you go to the exams with
that
you refer to? They don't have that. They use a calculator, so it's called a scientific calculator. So I told them,
I'm not used to this.
I'm not used to this. Like, is it okay if I bring my logbook? They don't understand the logbook. I don't understand their calculator. So it was a culture shock for me because I was really good at math, but I was feeling like I was struggling, not because I don't understand. It's because
they do their things differently.
So I had to go and buy a scientific calculator, and I had to sign up for tuition to learn how to learn.
Oh my God.
So I remember even the tutor was like, oh, so you want to learn about calculators? I mean, calculus. I was like, no, I understand calculus. I just want to understand how to use this
calculator.
So for me, that was the culture shock. They're very much advanced when it comes to technology. And also we had, in math class too, we still had this software called MATLAB. So they were doing math using a computer, using MATLAB program. Okay. Me, in high school,
it wasn't
we have not even, the only time I used the computer was after high school. My mom had signed up this Microsoft training in town. Excel, learn how to do Excel. So here I am trying to look for my keys and all that. The teacher has already moved on. That was a culture shock for me, and I just thought that it's going to be a really tough one.
But you pulled through.
Yeah, we pulled through, yes.
You pulled through, okay. So studying in the US might have been a challenge, but you still made it, as far as I'm concerned. So with all your titles and your accolades, do you think you've broken the glass ceiling that is mostly put there for women?
Absolutely, I would say yes. And I'll be proud about it too, because it did not come easy. Now when I went to the US, a little did I know that now I need to start working to pay for my school fees.
You can't just study.
You just can't study. It's just like you just wake up and money just comes, you know, weighs down on you. Like the way we think, you know, it's a land of milk and honey. So it wasn't that easy. So I had to work. So I would go to school from 8 to 12. And then I will go and work in a supermarket. The supermarket Walmart is like Nakumat, any other supermarket. and I'll work from 2 p.m. up to midnight. So with that, I had to pay my school fees, I had to pay my bills, I had to pay my rent, I had to pay, my books. So it did not come easy, so I had to sacrifice a lot.
Okay, so you actually said that you are only 5 girls in a class of 60 when you went to study in Texas?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I guess we would say not a lot of women pursue science, especially engineering, and chemical engineering is categorized as the hardest. And that class we started at 100 and something, and it started dropping off. One, the first year, second year, third year, so we finally graduated.
But it wasn't just the females, even the males are dropping out.
Even the males are dropping out.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, even the males are dropping out. So to be honest, even the small group that we had, we never really felt like, oh, we're the only girls. Like we always used to study together.
It was a group effort.
It was actually a group effort. If somebody is good in a certain subjects, like we help out each other. We used to study a lot, and we really built like very strong relationship that we have up to date.
Okay, so why do you think there are lesser girls in STEM? What really is the issue here?
Yes, when it comes to college, definitely it needs a lot of sacrifice. I remember in third year, I would sleep 3 hours. 3 hours. I think I slept 3 hours the whole year, like every day. So it needs a lot of sacrifice. That is in college. When you start working, it's a different sacrifice that you make. So when you're still starting your career, you have a lot of training to do, you have a lot of traveling. That's the good thing in oil and gas. You travel everywhere, and you're putting nice hotels, you're picked up, it's a really good
love
life.
Your job.
Yes, you love your job. And then when you start having family, that's whenever now the challenge comes in.
So tell me about motherhood. How has that been for you?
For me, I would say it has its challenge because the industry is very demanding, and especially being an engineer, it's very demanding. Our operation goes on 24/7, day and night, and it goes on every day. Like there's no weekend.
And since you're a woman, you still have to prove yourself that I can do this.
Absolutely, that's another thing too, like, because the opportunities that come, and I don't want it to pass me, so I have to really work hard to prove to them that wherever you're gonna post me or whatever position you're gonna give it to me, I can deliver. And for that, I have to really work hard. I have to be coming on time. So now when it comes to children, however much, even when I'm pregnant, that's one of the things that you struggle with, because it goes to a point where
it gets a toll on your physical energy.
Physical, and then you're not allowed to go to the field, you're not allowed to do certain things, and then if it's your project, you really don't know what's going on the other side. But I have not really quite much struggled with it because with my team, they've been always understanding, and I would say I'm very lucky on that. I've had really good supervisors, really good managers, to a point where they take on, and so we are able to still execute the project successfully without feeling there's any hitches here and there.
So do you ever get mom guilt? Because I understand your kids are maybe teenagers now.
Yes.
And they get to interact with other kids who tell them, my mom is always home.
Yes.
My mom, does this and this. But their mom doesn't do that.
Absolutely.
So do you ever feel like you could have done better for them?
Yes, especially for my son. My daughter, I had her in college. But for my son, I just started my career. So I felt... I had this guilt for a very long time, and to a point where I used to buy things and spoil him in other ways. And to a point where I was called out by my family, and I was told like, hey, this is not the right thing. Yeah, you need to chill. And so the good thing with them, both of them were born in the US. We started having talks. I used to talk to them like an adult, like, oh, mom is going to work over here. Yes, and they've been understanding all throughout.
And I think that's where most parents go wrong. They feel like maybe their kids are too young to understand, so they don't bother explaining. But I think it contributes really. at the end of the day they'll get it.
Absolutely. Like my daughter, you'll ask her, where's your mom? Like, oh, my mom is at work. Actually, she does petroleum. She's the one who removes the oil from the ground, and that's how you get oil or gas in the petrol station. So it's really nice.
They're really proud of you.
Yes, they're very proud
of you.
And sometimes even I carry them sometimes to work. Sometimes we used to have this team get together. You can invite your family. So I like to bring them. Sometimes we go to the office. When I work on the weekends, I carry them to the office so they can see what I do.
So you still get to hang out with them and still work.
Yes.
Killing two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
Okay, so back to girls in STEM. You have said that some challenges could be maybe pregnancy, or maybe let's talk about periods or something like that.
Yes.
So what really can be done to ensure that more girls are in STEM?
Yes, for me is first of all, I always encourage them, if that's your talent, why do you want to take yourself in somebody else's talent? Like, just pursue. Do not be bowed down too much by what the society expects from you, because this talent you're given by God.
So really, it's awareness.
It's awareness, and just bring it out, because you can see they're doing very good in sciences. And
you're a living example, actually.
And I'm a living example. And then you see when somebody wants to go and do banking, but you can just see how they're doing so good in sciences and how they can excel in it. So it's to bring awareness to them and then encourage them. And then I usually use my life story to encourage them.
Because you have done it, so they can do it.
Yes, they can do it, absolutely. We need more, because we're really good in multitasking and we're able to organize a lot of things
at the same time.
So we need more women.
We need to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to empowering women, we can't just talk about empowerment without talking about feminism.
Yes.
What's your take on feminism?
I would say I'm strong on it, and just because of what I'm going through as my career, and I would like to encourage more women, to join, because I'm seeing so much talent out there that are being wasted, that is just going down. You can see even some people fall out after they start having kids. The industry can be very demanding, but it doesn't mean it's the end of it. It just means like we need to rearrange ourselves, have a support system. My family has been a big support system. Sometimes you work.
I think that's the most important thing.
It is. Sometimes you're needed to work a different schedule, which is 28-28. 28-28 is you work for 28 days and you
then
come home for
28 days.
So you're gone for 28 days. So during those 28 days that you're working, that's whenever you need your support system, your family, and you just provide an environment. Sometimes you have to spend a lot of money. For example, when I was in the US, I had a nanny and then I had school. So I used to spend a lot of money just to make sure the environment is right and the foundation is right for the children. I said, I'll invest later. So it's a choice that you
have to make.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think women have been empowered enough? Or do you think we're neglecting the boy while empowering the woman?
Yes, I think we put so much effort in empowering the women, the girl child. You can see they are actually excelling. You've been seeing the KCSE results.
Yes, they've been going up every year.
The girls are just doing very good. And now the one person who's now suffering is the boy child. So we definitely need to come back and encourage the boy child, because for this society to be successful, we need both. We need the girl child and the boy child. Yes.
Okay, so apart from feminism and all that, I understand you run an organization. It's called the Michelle Boit Foundation.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What is the objective? What was the inspiration behind that?
So the objective is to mentor the youth. When I moved back to Kenya in 2014 from the US, I felt that was a gap. And it started actually with me. Because during my career, when I was in the US, you are actually assigned 3 mentors. You're given 3 mentors. Even in college, by the way,
which
you're given a mentor.
Is a thing that we lack here.
Yes, absolutely.
Lack of mentors, lack of people to look up to. So you are assigned 3 mentors. So one is a technical, 2 of them are technical mentors. That one is the same department that I was. The other one is in a different department that checks in, make sure that we're doing the right thing, that
growing. My career is growing. And then another one, the last one is like a buddy who has just graduated a year before you, where you can ask all the silly questions without getting intimidated. Yes, in the meetings they throw this big name. So I had that. So when I moved to Kenya, I felt like in our mid-career, I still need to learn, but I'm left on my own to figure out things. In our team, we had experts. They have 20 years plus experience, and then we have the very young ones who have just graduated from college. So I'm just by myself, mid-career, and I still need to still grow. I still need to grow. Yes. And with that, I found out actually it's just not me, it's everybody else. And I started going back even to school, my high school, Captain Berai. I went and started encouraging and doing a mentorship was a very program. Good place
to start.
Yes, yes. You always go back home. You always go back home. Yes, you always start. You go where you come from. So with that, I did my mentorship, and it started growing. And everybody, the parents, were telling me, "Oh, will you please come to? I have another son. I have another daughter in this school. Will you please come?" So that's how it started growing. And I would spend my weekends. But I'll try to balance also with family, because that one gives me a lot of I would say satisfaction and happiness within, and I needed to balance that because it keeps me happy in a different way. You start seeing like the youth just being encouraged, and
you literally see someone grow.
Yes, being inspired, motivated. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna continue doing this. So it started growing in that capacity. But right now, we have 3 categories. Level 1 is just high school students. High school students, we talk about career choice and just encourage them when it comes to behavioral. We talk about drugs, alcohol, peer pressure, money, sponsorship. We talk about that.
Everything.
Yes, because that is a very crucial age. If you don't get them at that time, we are gonna lose them. Then the second level is college students. That some of them have identified their career, some of them are still struggling, and some of them have been imposed a career by their parents. So we talk about also career, but at this moment we do more. We also talk about like how to write your CV, how to do interviews,
basic things,
just basic things, soft skills, because I feel like soft skills have not been taught in school.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't teach, like
they just you figure it out.
You just do the hard stuff and you figure it out. And that's another difference. In college, we used to have a career center, and they used to go through our CVs. They do mock interviews. They prepare us
for the job market.
And then they create a career day where we have like almost 200 companies. They used to come to Texas Tech University.
Wow.
And our job is just to look smart, have our CV ready, and just distribute. We get so many
interact with people.
Yes. So
which
that's
I think
what I saw
is lacking, especially in Kenya and most African countries.
Yes, actually is lacking. So that's how we have that category. I go and talk to them also in the students organization, encourage them. I work very closely with petroleum engineering department at Kenyatta University and also Nairobi University, because it is my career line, and just try to let them understand how is the industry works. Yes, works. And I'll get back to that because we've done a lot with them. Then the last category is young careers. So these are
now
people who are just out there.
You're just starting.
You've started your job and you feel intimidated. You don't know who to talk to, and you're like, oh man, I picked the wrong career.
Yeah,
so
I don't want to be here.
Yes, we have different mentors. We have lawyers, we have doctors, and then I take the engineering capacity where they can come and ask all questions, and maybe somebody give a very big word and you don't want to look silly, stupid. So you want somebody who you can talk to and you won't feel intimidated. So those are the 3 categories.
Okay, Michelle, we're gonna take a short break.
Okay.
And guys, when you get back, she's gonna tell us about the projects that Michelle Boit Foundation has been involved in. Stay tuned.
Leadership and governance, the pulse of a nation. Nandi News brings to you Kikao 254, an enhanced platform that engages leaders on their mandate by beaming light on issues around the social, economic, and the political landscape, as well as projecting the tide on the future of Kenya. This is Kikau 254.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We still have Michelle Boit in studio with us, and she was embarking on the projects that Michelle Boit Foundation has been involved in. Yeah, tell me that.
Yes, so now over the years we've been doing well, but also we try to we've discovered there's a lot of hiccups. There are things that we had not planned for. For example, you'll have like students who are in high school, they totally understand how to work hard, but they don't have school fees.
Yeah.
They come from a very unprivileged families. So we have picked up 4 of them, yes, and they're doing very good. So I have one who's in Form 4 right now, Form 3,
Wow.
Form 2, and Form 1.
So it's a sponsorship.
It's a sponsorship. So we took up onto ourselves to pay for their school fees. So I would like later on to expand and have more sponsorship, but right now it's only me who's sponsoring them. So
also you are the one who is outsourcing the finances,
yes,
and all of
from
that.
my salary, yes.
Oh, okay. So it means that you're gonna spend more money from your pocket. So
Absolutely.
would you accept any donations?
Absolutely. That was our strategies for 2020. We wanted to reach out more, put our story together so we can reach out to sponsors and have more people like coming to partner with us. Unfortunately, you know what happened 2020, but so hopefully we'll get back onto it 2021 because we have very, very bright students out there that they want to really pursue, they really want to work hard. It's just that they don't have means of how to do
I
that.
presume that Michelle Boit Foundation is not only run by you, you have a team. So how difficult was it to outsource a team for the foundation?
For me, you know, when I was in college, I was working part-time. So, and it will give me a way how to work and also get some pocket money. So actually everybody that works in the foundation are students.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and so they work part-time. We just bought them laptops. So I'm glad we went digital a long time ago. We used to have an office in this building.
Wow.
Yes. So and then with time it was like they're caught up with traffic, they have to do classes. So I just bought them laptops and then they
make it easier.
Make it easier, and they're students so they're able to update because emails, you know, and
everything
all these social
nowadays is
platforms.
online.
Yes.
So tell me the projects that you've embarked in apart from sponsorship.
Yes.
Do you have events? Do you have
Yes. And that is another one that came up because of an issue that we got. It is students who graduated from college and are not able to get jobs.
Okay.
So we started this a project for networking where we'll talk to different industries and we'll sponsor students to go there and have dinner with these industries when they have
talks.
and have talks whenever they have, when we hear they have talks or they have like industries get together. So we do pay for our students and we'll identify who's going to go and talk to them, and before they go for those networking events, we teach them what to wear, how to be punctual, and not to sit together, like get at least 10 solid contacts from the event, otherwise they'll refund my money. I used to tell
that's how strict you need to be.
That's how strict, and I'll come and monitor. Yes, and I'll send someone to monitor. Or I'll monitor myself, and then and we have got so many internships, and we've got job opportunities from out of that.
Yeah, the approach is very positive.
Yes. Apart from that, you know, I try to reach out to other companies and see if they can hire some of my mentees.
Since they're already skilled.
They're already skilled, and and we try to also train them how to write CVs and how to present themselves. So those are categories in that area, and we also have community projects. So we have one, the boy that I sponsor who is in Form 3, he's from Turkana, and the reason how I got to relate to him is through me working at Talo. I was based in Turkana.
So you don't only sponsor girls, even boys?
No. Actually, the one in Form 4 is a girl, the one in Form 3 is a boy, the one in Form 2 is a boy, and then Form 1 is a girl. So and from different, by the way, backgrounds,
places.
yes.
Which I think brings on diversity, which is very essential. So you're pretty big on giving back.
Yes.
And most recently, you built your mom a 30 million shilling house. Tell me about that. I mean, you know, if you build a house for 3 million, that's okay. 30 million?
30 million. We're not going to talk about how much I spent on the house. Okay. But it's a very nice, decent house. That is a place. My mom has always had this land. We have everything in it. Like that's where we have all our farming.
Oh, you practice farming?
Yes, we practice farming there since I was young. In fact, even from that land, that's where I got my school fees. I remember from class 6 onwards, every December we used to go to the farm to go and
harvest.
So we harvest and then
sell the produce and
we have everything. Actually, we have our cattle there, our sheep. We have everything. The only thing that was missing was just a house. And the house that my mom was living in, you know, my dad passed on in 2008. So yes, my dad is not, because everybody was saying like, what about your dad? Yeah, my dad is my favorite all time, and I miss him. May he rest in peace. Yes, so it's now just my mom. So my mom was living in a house close to Eldoret town, and the town had moved over the years, and it got to her. And that house, she also added rental houses inside the compound, so it kind of felt with time it's squeezed and there's no privacy. And that house also needed a lot of renovation. So I thought instead of renovating this, what about we just build a home? Yes, in the farm. And you already
have land.
So. They have land, and she's almost retiring also, and that's her retirement plan, to build a home in the farm.
Or she had originally wanted to do it for herself.
Yes, in fact, even we can afford a little bit at the beginning because she wanted to do it on her own. She felt like the money I spend on it, that I need to spend on her grandkids, her grandkids. And I said no. This is the only thing that I need to do for the family, so that I can feel we are stable enough. She's stable enough before I start doing things
for yourself. Yeah. So that's how you eventually. It's called the White House. Why?
Yes, it's all white.
Simple
it's
as
white
that.
inside out. Yes, it's all
white. Is white
white.
her favorite color or your favorite color?
Well, let's just say combination. My mom is super clean. In fact, her nickname is Mama Safi.
Wow.
So she likes things sparkling, neat, clean.
So it had to be white.
Yes, had to be white, so she can kind of identify where the dirt is, so it doesn't bother her.
All right, so let's go back to work.
Yes.
I mean, being a woman in this field, which is very male dominated, and again, on top of that, you are in a new land, you are in a foreign land. The challenges that you faced, like working there, especially from your bosses, your male counterparts. Tell me about.
I would say in the US, I worked in Texas, I worked in Wyoming State, I worked in New Mexico. I was given a fair share. I was given so much responsibility at a very young stage of my career, and I really enjoyed it. I think they just really pushed me because I guess they saw what I can give. They saw my value. And sometimes, as a woman, you try to feel like, you're more reserved, and you're like, I'm not able to do it. And actually, my boss, up to today, we are still in touch. Yes, he totally pushed me, and I was able to move up in my career in a very fast track. So for me, I would say working in the US was really good for me because of the technology was also advanced, and the opportunities was there, and also the company, they did allow a lot of young engineers who really want to work hard. They were given the opportunity and the platform. So that I didn't struggle much. I struggled a little bit when I came to Kenya because
when you now started working for Talo Oil.
Yes, I felt like I struggled a little bit because of one, my voice was not really hard. I would say I would suggest on something. I was struggling on that. And also that is just on the boardroom. I was struggling a lot to get my voice out.
Your ideas will not be taken out as fast.
And you'll find that somebody else will say the same thing, and you're like,
the reaction will be like
different. They're like, oh yeah, that's a very good idea.
Like, but I say the same thing.
So I struggled a little bit with that, and I guess because I'd already advanced myself in my career in in the US. So I thought at home I'll be received well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in any case, you're bringing new skills here.
Yeah. And actually, it just quite
was
didn't happen
different.
like that.
Yeah.
And also that is in the field. They always felt like, even when I'm supervising a field, I always felt like it was probably a male that is in charge of the site. So I was always overlooked. But I mean, these things happen. So sometimes you have to have a thick skin.
So do you think it's an African problem? Because you have stated that while in the US, it wasn't as bad. Nevertheless, it wasn't bad at all. But when you came home, where you expect things to be much, much better, it's different. So is this an African problem? What is this?
I would say it's our culture. We need to move away from our culture where we still categorize women in a certain area. We have revolved. This generation is different. And I can see there's some others, male and African men, that are really promoting women. And I have a few friends who do that. And I wish we will have more and more where they see is actually the skills, the experience, is what they bring on the table. It's not about who they are
as a woman.
As a woman, yes.
So you are the head engineer for this Turkana project, and you had another EOPS project in Lokichar, was it?
Yes, Lokichar, yes.
Tell me about that. And you met the president.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So it's called EOPS is early oil pilot scheme. This is where we decided after doing exploration and appraisal of the field, that's like more understanding what we have. Now we're going to
really
production.
Know what you're working with.
Yes. Now to go to production to really see what is this product. What is it? How is it going to market itself? So they call it early production because we haven't gone to full-blown production of the field. So it's just called early production, where it was
you're figuring things out.
Yes, for 2 years to really understand. And so for that, I was the lead of the technical team.
Wow! Despite all odds.
Despite all odds, and I had about 10 different contractors.
Wow!
My main contractor was coming from Abu Dhabi, and we worked really
Diversity.
well. Yes, we were very diverse. We had also local contractors, so we came from civil contractors to, from building this plant. So we had the early facility plant that we built. Now this is now on a small scale because we were not producing much. So with this project, I was able to lead, not only just from the tallow side, but just to make sure like all the contractors are doing what they're supposed to do. You can imagine just managing 10
being
different contractors. Yes, because this person is from down subsurface to the surface, and then this one needs to come and connect his equipment, and then someone needs to come and connect their equipment. And you can imagine if you don't have a good planning, everybody will show up
because it's a team effort.
Yes, team effort. This one come up with a 4-inch pipe, this one has a 3-inch pipe, and then you're just looking at each other.
We can't work together.
So it was a really, I would say the most challenging project that I've done, and probably the most fulfilling, because one, I was able to see it from beginning to end, and then two, I was leading it, so I would see where we could have improved and all that. And three, also it gave me like leadership skills now to put it in practice. And then 4, which is opportunity that I've always wanted, you know, to lead at the front, then always just working at the back. So with that, I always wanted people to see
what you're made of.
What I'm made of. I just
you don't want to be behind the scenes anymore.
Like I want this opportunity. When is it gonna come?
And then boom,
God just provided that day of fast oil in Kenya. And then it's not that I was all just presenting, you know, like to our CEO or the CEO of our partners. He was to the president, our very own president. So that day was definitely my highlight of my career. Where I was able to explain to people, and people can see my passion of what I have in oil and gas, and it was a very successful day. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so back to the kids.
Yes.
You say due to the nature of your work, you get to spend very little time with your kids. But how was Corona for you? Because most of us were home. Were you still traveling?
Yes. So You know, right before Corona, I had a contract. I started my consulting firm. That was May 2019. And my first contract, I got it in Chad, Jamena. And with that, I was working 28 days on, 28 days off. So with that, I was gone for 1 month, but I would be home for 1 month.
Yeah.
So Corona came. It hit us. And I was hard. And I was preparing now to travel in March. And everything got closed down. International flights got closed down.
No work.
Our field, yes. They started saying, you know, we have to release everybody. And to me, it was actually a shock because I've been busy all throughout my career.
So you are readjusting to this new life.
I was wondering, what am I going to be doing for 2 weeks? I was confused, you know, because I was ready mentally to go back to work. So 2 weeks, I felt so confused and just didn't know what to do. You know, I've never been home more than a month, you know, at a go. And so for me, and I need to figure out what to do. So for 2 weeks it was very stressful. I started baking. It didn't work out for me. I started watching Netflix. It didn't work out for me. And you know, now we have kids who have now been sent home, and now we have the kids, and now we cannot even go anywhere. We're supposed to stay in the house, locked down. And and then one day I just asked myself, okay, like,
this is it, like
make the best out of it. Like, you've always sometimes complained like you need some time.
You're not home anymore.
Yes, you're not home. You don't spend enough time with the kids. This is the time. Like, what are
Take
you
it
know
up.
wait, take it up, make the best out of it. So for me, from there on, it has been my best time. I've spent so much quality time with the kids for 10 months. In fact, I miss them so much when they go back to school. I was like, oh, so yes, it was definitely a blessing in the disgrace. I spent time with them. We were able to do a lot of projects. We have really bonded, and it was just perfect timing because my daughter is 15 years old. Teenage. Yes, we talked about a lot. I mean, everything. We laid everything on the table, and we talked about everything. My son is the same thing. He's a preteen, so we talked about everything. And I was able also, on my personal level, I was able to work on the projects that I've always wanted to work on. I wanted to put strategies in place for the foundation. And then at that time is when I was just given land in Turkana. So I wanted to build a resource center. So I was able to come together, bring together different people who could work on the project to design it. So I had architects, I had engineers,
and this project actually needed your presence.
And actually it needed my presence. Yes. So it just worked out so well that we were able to come together and accomplish. And that's the time even I was finishing White House. And you know how finishing can be a challenge. Yes. So I was able also to finish that and also hand over the house to my mother.
Okay, so you have talked about the highlight of your career, which was meeting the president and working on that project. What has been the low light? What has been your lowest moment?
Lowest moment. Oh my goodness. It's when you don't feel that you're satisfied. You feel like you have so much to give and you're being constrained.
So much potential, but you
have
can't get it out.
So much potential and you can't get it out. Those are the moments when you feel very low. And that's the time where you need change.
Okay.
So each and every time I make a change is the time where I feel like I'm stagnant. And you don't want to be always feeling like that. You want to wake up, feel challenged, and yes. So those are the low times in my career, but I change it by changing my direction.
And your perspective also. Yes. So how does a typical day look for you? How is your day now that we're back to work? Ish. Yeah.
Well, the field is still not open. So right now, I still have projects that I'm working on. So right now is just waking up, getting my son ready, go to school, and then come home, work on my projects, sending emails, and just have different. And I'm a leader in different organizations. So I try to check like where we like the alumni, Kapniberai alumni, which I need to hold a Kapniberai alumni. So they need to come together because we need to go back to school and build our team stronger. So I'm a chair lady for Company Bear Alumni. I'm a board member.
So these are the things.
So these are
really
the things
take up
that is
your
keeping
time.
me busy right now. And also I started training. I was called by KPC, Kenya Pipeline Company Limited, to train the employees about upstream. So I was able to do that, and we were looking for more opportunities. So my typical day is when they go to school, I do all these projects, and then when they come back to school, I just become a mother.
And you're also the chairperson for SPE KU chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is that?
I can say we have come a very long way. Our relationship started at the very bottom, where I was assigned by my boss to take crude oil to the school. So I had to organize with people in the field to bring crude oil. So I said, which school? Do you mean we have petroleum engineering? So I went and visited them because I said, should I send the driver? I was like, let me just go. I went there and I found that actually they have a full-blown program of petroleum.
Do they have the facilities?
Not aware. Yes, and at that time they were doing more of theory, more than
but
practicals.
now definitely it has improved.
Yes, it has improved tremendously. They were able to see crude oil. I talked to the chairman. His name is Dr. Daniel Oyo. He's still the chairman of the Petroleum Engineering Department, and we were able to build up the relationship. I had to bring him to talk to my boss, to a point where we were able to talk to the VC. It was an acting VC at that time, and the entire executive team in KU, and we had a partnership with the industry where we started taking the students actually to Turkana to see the operations.
So really, if anyone wants to pursue petroleum engineering now, they can do it. They don't have to go to the US. We have it in Kenya, yeah? Yes,
we have it in Kenya. We have in Kenyatta University and Nairobi University. They have it too. And I can see there are other colleges they're providing diplomas. Yeah, they're providing diplomas. So yeah, with that we're able to take them, fly them. We flew 40 students to Turkana.
Yeah. So tell me, Michelle, if you had done anything differently, what would you have changed?
Let me see. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to join the Air Force. Yes. So,
but your love for chemical engineering took over.
Yes. So the love of and the success of the chemical engineering did not allow that. And of course, my dad was like, "Why do you want to fly? Like people crash up there." I'm like, "That was yeah." I'm like, we all die. So yeah, of course. With him saying that, it kept on coming and echoing in my mind. But I think I still want to go back and learn how to fly.
So that's what you would want to do.
Yeah, when I retire, also I could just I think it will be cool.
Okay, so what does Michelle do when she's not a chemical engineer? What are your hobbies? What do you engage in to unwind?
Yes, I am an outdoor junkie. I love to hike. I love to connect with nature. So I joined a hiking group, I think 3 years ago, where we hike. We have a hiking program. We have twice a month. So I love to explore. At the same time, I do it in a very natural way. So I love hiking.
So it's the thing that works for you, and you're killing two birds again with the same stone, because you get to be healthy and you get to do what you love.
Exactly. And then network, because I like networking also, like meeting different groups. And that's something has really made me successful by just being very diverse.
Yeah, you can imagine with different
if
people.
I'm meeting somebody who's an engineer, female, we'll be talking about the same thing every day. Yeah, if you meet a doctor or something, and then in a platform that is casual, you get to learn something from them.
Okay, so apart from your hobbies, we're gonna go back to work again.
Yes.
So the last time you talked about tallow oil, you hadn't started producing. Have we started producing now as a country?
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. So of course, with Corona and everything, that puts everything to a stop. So the operation has been still closed, and that's just with any other field. Even the field that I was working in, China,
everything was
closed.
affected.
Everything was affected. So it has been closed. The operation has been closed, but we were in a very interesting stage where it's called developing stage, where now you need to figure out how do you produce now full field development. So they are putting those documentation in place, because that's just a different stage. Production stage is totally different with exploration and appraisal. So with that, they were just putting documentation in place so that they can present to the government and see if it's something that they can now pursue.
Okay, so where are we looking at the estimation, like in the next 5 years, our oil industry? What do you think? Where will we be?
People have been concentrating a lot on tallow. What they don't know, we have about 30 plus oil operators in Kenya. We have
not just tallow.
Yes, we have 40 plus blocks. Tallow just has 2 that is active, 13T and 10BB. But we have so many blocks. Actually, I would just wish like I had even the map right now to show you. We have so many blocks and we have so many operators. They might be coming in and working silently, and maybe that's the strategy that works for them. But that's something that Kenya needs to start understanding. It's just not tallow only.
There are other players in the game.
We have the whole of Rift, we have Marsabit, we have Lamu, we have onshore, which is on land, we have offshore, and we also have in the area where we have the lake, Lake Victoria. There's also some blocks over there, oil blocks over there.
So things are looking up, really.
Actually, things are looking up. Once we just get to the right operators, I could see the oil and gas industry changing the economy of Kenya if everything is done right.
Okay, so what is your parting shot? What you'd like to tell small girls who are watching this?
Yes.
Who want to be you right now?
Well, that gives me a lot of pressure. No, I'm just kidding. But I would just say that really look into yourself and see where is your talent. It's really good to identify what you're good at, and what you're good at combined with your passion. Once those two meet, you'll be very successful. Do not fear science. Do not fear pursuing STEM. It has been done. It was done before me. It will be done after me. It's just an opportunity where you just come look for mentors. I'm open to just share my life story, see what has helped me, and have somebody that walk through with you. And because there are going to be some tough times, and we'll be able to see you successful. Yes.
Okay, so what next for Michelle? Now that you achieved all this, what next? What are you embarking on next?
Yes, for me is to still grow my consultancy. Right now, I'm just the only employee, but I would like to grow. I would like to I have passion about building the young engineers. I would like to have an opportunity where I have a project where I can train also the young engineers. So I would really like to see that grow. I would also like to see the foundation grow, where we can do more of impact. I also told my team this year is more about doing an impact and a transformation more than numbers, because we used to like reach out to get numbers. It's about being impactful to the society. We'd rather even have change one person's life than just having so many followers, so many numbers, with no really impact in their lives. So I like to do that, and just give back more into the community.
You're pretty big on that.
Yes, I'm pretty big on that, and also spend time with my family.
Okay, so Michelle, you have been an amazing guest. It has been interesting talking to you.
Yes.
It has been great. You you have been an amazing guest.
Yes.
So guys, that has been Michelle Boit for us, and thank you for tuning in. And remember, here at Nandi News, we offer live streaming services. We can cover your weddings, your funerals. We also cover political rallies. We also do adverts. So anytime, hit us up. Bye.